Our main question is, how do you like it? So we are at the cafe. We've already gotten the server's attention. We've asked our questions. We've ordered. We've gotten our food. And now that we're eating our food, we are asking the people at the table, how do you like it? All right, répétez class. Comment tu trouves ça? If you're talking to more than one person or if the server is talking to you, you would use vous, right? Répétez. Comment vous trouvez ça? Now, we can get rid of the ça and be specific. So let's say I'm sitting at the table with Serge, and Serge has a crepe, right? I could say, comment tu trouves la crepe? Or you can just say it with that ça on the end, either one. All right, let's start with our positives. Répétez, c'est bon. C'est excellent. C'est délicieux. C'est pas mauvais. All right. Remember that the French and the culture that we learned yesterday, they tend to downplay things, not be as dramatic. So even if they thought it was excellent or delicious, they might say, c'est pas mauvais. It's not bad. All right. Let's go to the negative ones. You do not like your food. Répétez, c'est pas bon. C'est pas terrible. C'est dégoûtant. C'est mauvais. Excellent. And again, even if they thought it was disgusting, they might say, c'est pas bon, right? It's not so good. Or they might even go over to the c'est pas mauvais. All right, that's it. This is the troisième étape. There is not a lot of new stuff here, and that's why tomorrow we're going to be doing 2 parts of our chapter test because we're pretty much done with the chapter. So we're going to work on this troisième étape today. Tomorrow you're going to be finishing up your skits and presenting them and doing some listening for the chapter test. And then on Monday, you'll be doing the reading and the writing. All right, bien. Oh, I forgot about this. We also have to wrap it up and just ask for the check and ask how much. Again, the only new word here is the word check. Répétez l'addition, s'il vous plaît. Tout de suite. Un moment, s'il vous plaît. And we've already been asking prices for a long time. C'est combien? Ça fait combien? What's the difference? One is for one item. The second one is how much is the total if there's multiple things that you're paying for. How do we answer with our prices? We use what currency? Euros, that's right. And remember their euros, if they have like 50 cents or something on the end, they put a comma instead of a decimal. And that's where you say the word euro. So if it's 2 euros and 50 cents, say 2 euros 50. And we can ask if the tip is included, but it is. It's included. Répétez. Le service est compris. Good. But again, with a little bit of culture knowledge, we know that they usually round up or add another euro or 2 on the table, assuming the service is good. All right. Très bien. That's for our skits tomorrow. Okay, let's look at the devoir, s'il vous plaît. So pull up your devoir. Last night's homework was CDA 56 à 58, and we did some of this together. We did one of each. Thank you. We did one of each. So we're going to take a look at it. Let me pull it up. The first exercise, you were just putting a little dot on how often you eat these things. All right, and so we have a list here of vocabulary that we should know, and then we together remembered what these words mean for how often. So we have souvent, quelquefois, rarement, and jamais. And I'm just going to call on you guys, and you can tell me which one you picked. All right, bien. Gabin. Tu manges des escargots? Which one did you say? Jamais. Oui, jamais, never. All right, bien. Julie, tu manges une omelette? Vraiment. Alice, to prendre. Remember, we can use mange and prendre interchangeably. They both mean have food, eat food. Alice, tu prends des frites? Quelquefois, très bien. Elliot, tu prends un croque-monsieur? Souvent. Moi aussi, j'adore les croque-monsieur. Et tu prends une quiche? Jamais? Jamais. D'accord. Félix, tu prends un sandwich? Souvent, oui, moi aussi. Maxence, tu prends la glace? Souvent, moi aussi, j'adore la glace. Isabelle, tu prends la pizza? Pardon? Souvent, often, très bien. And Marie, tu prends le steak frite? Rarement, très bien. All right, excellent. And then we went from going from a chart to trying to make our own sentences. And I reminded you that often, sometimes, and rarely, souvent, quelquefois, and rarement, they're going to go right after your verb prendre. Okay? And we did number one together. So, je prends souvent un sandwich. And then you had to add in y. Parce que, and we're going to go back to the vocabulary. If you have it often, it's probably going to be one of these good things because it's good, excellent, delicious, or not bad. If you say that you rarely have it or never have it, you're going to say because it's one of these negative expressions. All right, bien. Go back here. There we go. All right, and we have to remember, like the example, that the jamais needs a ne, and it goes around your verb because it's a sandwich. All right, so we did number one together. Je prends souvent un sandwich au jambon parce que c'est délicieux. All right, Simone, give me one of your sentences. Excellent. Je prends souvent des frites parce que c'est délicieux. I'm going to repeat you so those at home can hear you. All right, Serge, give me another sentence.
Je les prends.
Jamais?
Yeah. No.
No?
Je les prends quelquefois.
You don't need a no then. Je prends quelquefois. La pizza, parce que. Go back to your expressions. Parce que, pick one of your good ones. Say.
C'est bon.
C'est bon. Ah oui, parce que c'est bon. Excellent, excellent. Any questions about that? Take a look at your sentences. Did you have a jamais in any of yours? And if you did you put a ne before the pronoun and a jamais after? Good. And otherwise, if you used souvent, quelquefois, and rarement, look at your sentences. Did you place them right after the pronoun? Excellent, excellent. We're using that parce que again, which is nice. Répétez, class. Parce que. Parce que. Excellent. All right, and next we have an exchange student. Which, have you guys gotten to know our exchange student from France? No? Oh, she is fantastique and very nice. Elle est très sympa. But these are things she would not be aware of, except for broccoli. I have no idea why broccoli is in here. They definitely eat broccoli. But enchiladas, chili, pancakes, cheddar cheese, and root beer, nope. So our answers are going to vary a lot because this is all on your opinions, right? So you're just telling them if they should try these things. So we, in a positive statement, like we say excellent or no. No, don't try it, and give a negative statement. All right, so I'm going to ask, and then I'm going to go back to our slides. So, do you have a question?
Yeah, they don't eat cheddar.
You know, they make cheese in almost every region, and there's over, I think, 350 types of cheese in France, but cheddar cheese is not one of them. No. Lots of different types of cheese, but not cheddar. All right, we eat cheddar cheese a lot, right? Especially
even like
shredded. And I'm taping this. Can't even talk. Cheddar cheese. No, no. All right, bon. So, le chili. Where was I at? I think I'm back over to Gabon. Gabon. Je mange le chili. Should I have chili? What do you think? Oui, c'est excellent. Bien. Et les pancakes, Jolie? Oh, she said, non, c'est pas bon. Pancakes? Who doesn't like pancakes? Not Jolie. All right, bien. Et le brocoli, Alice? Oh, oui, c'est bon. Et le cheddar, Elliot? Non, c'est pas bon. Bien. Et Faye, le root beer? Oui, c'est pas mauvais. C'est pas mauvais. Ooh, you know what they should try since they don't have root beers? A root beer float. Mmm, délicieux. All right, bien. Any questions on exercice? Très bien. So we scroll on down, and here we're making, this is pretty impressive. You guys are only in French 1, and you are making compound sentences. Some pretty good ones, I must say. So you're saying how you feel about something, adding in the parska, and then saying why. And it's a very beautiful compound sentence. Impressive. All right, so you had to say how you feel about the middle items. That's why they're circled, because you're going to look at the middle first to decide which expression you want before it. Then you add in your parska and say and your ending. So we did the first one together, and I like omelet, so I said j'aime bien l'omelette, parska because c'est bon. All right, let's hear some of these fabulous sentences. Felix, what did you say? Bien, bien. J'aime bien les crêpes parce que c'est excellent. Très bien. Maxence, how do you feel about quiche? Ah, he said. Did you say j'aime bien? No. What did you say again? Je déteste? Ah, je déteste la quiche parce que c'est pas bon. All right, very good. Isabel, what about la limonade? Did you say pas bon? Now, if you adore it, you wouldn't say that it's not good. Excellent. There we go. So j'aime bien la limonade parce que c'est excellent. All right, bien. Marie, what about des escargots? Good. Je n'aime pas les escargots parce que c'est pas terrible. And Simone, how do you feel about les hot dogs? Je n'aime pas les hot dogs parce que c'est pas terrible. All right. And Serge, what about le citron pressé? What about lemonade?
J'adore le citron
Pressé. Mm-hmm.
parce que c'est délicieux.
Excellent. J'adore le citron pressé parce que c'est délicieux. Super. All right. Nice sentences. Good job. Next, we had to figure out which answers go with which questions. And we did number 1 together. Which l'addition, s'il vous plaît. That's our new expression. Check, please. And we said oui, tout de suite. All right. Bien. We are back over to Gabon. All right, Gabon. Ça fait combien? Ça fait combien? Oui. 40 euro. We need a price there. Excellent. 40 euros. All right. Jolie, On va au café? You want to go to the cafe? Excellent. Giving an excuse. Désolé, je ne peux pas. All right. Alice, vous prenez? Good. Alice knew that vous prenez is what are you having? So she ordered un coca. Oops. Why can't I get number 4 in there? Oh. All right, bien. Comment tu trouves le café, Elliot? Not really is pas tellement. We can't say that. Not really. Pas tellement. Oui, pas terrible. Not so good. Okay. Faye, tu aimes les frites? Yep, now we can say not really. Pas tellement is a do you like something or another. Not really. Pas tellement. Félix, tu as quel âge? How old are you, Felix? Very well. And you? Come on, Felix. Set. 15 ans. 15 ans. All right. Did I skip you, Isabel? Wait, no, I'm only on Maxence. Okay, Maxence. Comment ça va? Très bien, et toi? That's right. Voila. Any questions on that one? Yeah. All right. You're about to leave the cafe, but you still have to ask for the check and pay it. So we started it off. L'addition, s'il vous plaît. What can the server say, Isabel? It's so sweet. And then you could ask what question from our vocab. Marie? Yep. C'est combien? And what could the server say? Of course, you're just making this up. Simone? And then just wrap up the conversation with something or another, Serge. How do you say thank you? And how do we say goodbye? Merci, salut, merci, au revoir. Something along those lines. Oui, that's how we end. This is what the third étape is all about. Répétez classe. L'addition, s'il vous plaît. Tout de suite. C'est combien? C'est 5 euros. Excellent. Let's scroll down, and you had a little bit of reading to do and using our euros. And there we can see those commas. I know it's a little dark, but instead of dots, decimals, they put commas there. And most of the things are either an even price or 50 cents. We did number 1 together. C'est combien en chocolat? C'est 2,50 €. All right, I'm going to have you do this with your partenaires, and you guys are scattered all over the place. So let's see, Elliot and Alice, you guys will work together today. Jolie and Gabin, you guys will work together today. Obviously, you guys. All right, I'm going to have Maxence turn and work with Isabel, and Simone, you'll just turn around and work with Marie, and Felix, you'll just kind of talk out loud to yourself back there. All right, are you ready? All right, we did number 1, so let's do 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you are at home watching, try to ask these questions and say the answers out loud now. Go.
Yeah, I didn't do any of that.
Okay. Do you think you might have to look at a menu on your chapter test?
Yes.
Probably we'll have to look at some menus on a chapter test for sure. All right. And the last thing you did was little skits looking at the pictures. We did the first one together. Vous prenez, je voudrais un croque-monsieur, s'il vous plaît. Donnez-moi un steak frites, s'il vous plaît. All right. So the second picture is really all about the third étape, right? What is the main question once we get our food, Gabin? Nope. We're on the little picture. What's the question once we get our food that we're asking each other? Comment tu trouves ça? All right. And who do you want to go to first? Oh, you know what? Because he has two bubbles, he asked first. And you look over and look at her face. Oh my. Why do I have a little eraser there? What is? Go away, little eraser.
Yeah, you have the eraser at the bottom.
Why?
So just click pen. Just click pen on Screencastify and then just draw your words.
No, because it's just a draw. It's just click.
Yeah. We're good.
Okay. You guys are good. Thank you. Sorry. Okay, so look at her face. Jolie, what is she going to say? Oui, some kind of negative. C'est pas terrible. She is not liking whatever it is that she's got. But then she's also going to ask him because he has another bubble. So she, in her bubble, she's going to say c'est pas terrible. And then what is she going to ask, Alice? Yep. Move myself over here. There we go. And he's got a big... happened again. What the heck? There we go. Okay. And Elliot, he's got a big smile. What's he going to say? Voila. I am going to come around and stamp you guys like crazy because you have been answering lots of good responses with some beautiful French. So yeah, get those babies out. You are going to need your Chromebook. Absolutely. So we just went over our homework, and now I am going to, you know what? I'm going to do things in a different order so they're not having dead time. We're going to go ahead and do in our packet. Grab your packets. Grab your packet, and we are going to turn to the very last page for some écoutons. We're going to do some listening practice. Then we'll do our communication activity and our writing practice, and I can let them go. This will be the last thing that they need me for. So in your packet, Chapter 5, third atop packet, get that baby out, and on the very back, you've got some listening that we're going to practice. And I'm going to get that all set up while you get that out. I'll bring the little microphone over to the CD player. What? Oh, okay. I do that. Say boom. Oui, c'est jeudi.
That means tomorrow's Friday.
Everybody there?
Wait, tomorrow was Wednesday?
Tomorrow's
I thought
Friday.
today was.
It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. All right, let's begin.
I thought it was Wednesday today.
No, I thought you were playing.
No, I genuinely thought it was Wednesday.
Troisième étape. Numéro 21. Écoute.
Listen to the following remarks. Do the speakers like or dislike the food they've been served?
1. Cette pizza, elle n'est pas très bonne.
2.
La glace au chocolat, c'est délicieux.
3. Il n'est pas terrible ce hot dog. 4. Ne mange pas ça. C'est dégoûtant.
5. Il est bon, ce croque-monsieur.
Encore.
Troisième étape. Numéro 21. Écoute.
Listen to the following remarks. Do the speakers like or dislike the food they've been served?
1. Cette pizza, elle n'est pas très bonne.
Class, like or dislike?
I didn't understand.
You didn't understand?
All I got was pizza. Yeah.
Let's do that again then. Start it again. I can't get rid of the instructions. It's
Troisième étape.
all or
Numéro
nothing.
21. Écoute.
Listen to the following remarks. Do the speakers like or dislike the food they've been served?
1. Cette pizza, elle n'est pas très bonne.
Dislike?
It is dislike. Elle n'est pas très bon. You should have heard that. Ne and the pas. Pas très bon. Elle n'est pas très bon. So it's a dislike.
2.
La glace au chocolat, c'est délicieux.
That is a like.
3. Il n'est pas terrible ce hot dog.
Class, dislike.
Ne mange pas ça. C'est dégoûtant.
Dislike.
5. Il est bon, ce croque-monsieur.
Like.
Like.
Numéro 25. Écoute.
Listen to the following remarks. Are the speakers ordering or getting ready to pay the check?
1.
Apportez-moi un coca, s'il vous plaît. 2.
L'addition, s'il vous plaît.
3.
Je vais prendre un jus de pomme, s'il vous plaît.
4. Ça fait combien, s'il vous plaît?
5.
Donnez-moi une limonade, s'il vous plaît.
Let's do that again. Encore.
Numéro 25. Écoute.
Listen to the following remarks. Are the speakers ordering or getting ready to pay the check?
1.
Apportez-moi un coca, s'il vous plaît.
Class. Good. Ordering.
2.
L'addition, s'il vous plaît.
Class. Pain.
3.
Je vais prendre un jus de pomme, s'il vous plaît.
Ordering.
4. Ça fait combien, s'il vous plaît?
Pain.
5.
Donnez-moi une limonade, s'il vous plaît.
Ordering. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Next, I'm just going to go ahead and let it play
Prononcier.
and fill out our chart.
Additional listening activity 5-6. An advertising agency has invited some French students to participate in a taste test of 3 brands of hot chocolate. Listen to the conversation and note briefly in French the students' reactions in the chart below.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Janine Lombard et je suis responsable du département boissons à l'agence Goûtons Tout. Vous allez d'abord vous présenter et donner votre âge. Ensuite, nous allons commencer le test.
Moi, c'est Cyril. J'ai 17 ans.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Vanessa et j'ai 16 ans. Moi, c'est Alexandra et j'ai 16 ans aussi. Très bien, très bien. Si vous avez faim après ce test, il y a des sandwichs et des chips sur la table. Alors, aujourd'hui, Cyril, Vanessa et Alexandra, vous allez tester différents chocolats chauds et me dire comment vous les trouvez, d'accord? D'accord. Bien. Alors, voilà 3 tasses de chocolat pour Cyril, 3 tasses pour Vanessa et 3 pour Alexandra. Bon, je vous laisse tester les chocolats. Eh bien, Cyril, comment tu les trouves?
Le numéro 1 est vraiment délicieux, mais le 2 et le 3 sont dégoûtants.
Merci, Cyril. Et toi, Vanessa, comment tu trouves les chocolats? À mon avis, le numéro 1 est très bon. Le 2 n'est pas mauvais, mais le 3 n'est pas très bon. Merci, Vanessa. Et toi, Alexandra? Le numéro 1 est excellent. Le 2 et le 3 ne sont pas terribles. Eh bien, merci beaucoup, Cyril, Vanessa et Alexandra. Et je vous laisse maintenant avec Monique, avec qui vous allez...
Encore. Encore. Here we go.
Additional listening activity 5-6. An advertising agency has invited some French students to participate in a taste test of 3 brands of hot chocolate. Listen to the conversation and note briefly in French the students' reactions in the chart below.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Janine Lombard et je suis responsable du département boisson à l'agence Goûtons Tout. Vous allez d'abord vous présenter et donner votre âge. Ensuite, nous allons commencer le test.
Moi, c'est Cyril. J'ai 17 ans.
Il a quel âge? Il a quel âge, Cyril? 17. 17. Très bien.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Vanessa et j'ai 16 ans.
How old is Vanessa? 16.
Moi, c'est Alexandra et j'ai 16 ans aussi.
How old is she, the last one? 16 also. 16 ans aussi means also. Okay? On continue?
Très bien, très bien. Si vous avez faim après ce test, il y a des sandwichs et des chips sur la table. Alors, aujourd'hui, Cyril, Vanessa et Alexandra, vous allez tester différents chocolats chauds et me dire comment vous les trouvez. D'accord?
D'accord.
Bien. Alors, voilà 3 tasses de chocolat pour Cyril, 3 tasses pour Vanessa et 3 pour Alexandra. Bon, je vous laisse tester les chocolats. Eh bien, Cyril, comment tu les trouves?
Le numéro 1 est vraiment délicieux.
How does he describe number 1? Delicious.
Mais le 2 et le 3 sont dégoûtants.
What does dégoûtant mean? Disgusting. So he finds 2 and 3 both disgusting. Dégoûtant. I love that word. You can use it for anything you find disgusting, right? Répétez. Dégoûtant. C'est dégoûtant. That's disgusting. C'est dégoûtant. Ah oui. All right, bon.
Merci, Cyril. Et toi, Vanessa, comment tu trouves le chocolat? À mon avis, le numéro 1 est très bon.
What does très bon mean? Really good. Very good. So she thought number 1 was very good.
Le 2 n'est pas mauvais.
Pas mauvais. What's that?
Not bad.
Not bad. Number 2, pas mauvais.
Mais le 3 n'est pas très bon.
Pas très bon. What does that mean?
Bad. Well, not good.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not very good. Pas très bon. Not very good. So it's bad.
Merci, Vanessa. Et toi, Alexandra? Le numéro 1 est excellent.
Ooh, excellent, numéro 1. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire? What does that mean?
Huh?
Excellent.
Good.
Good. Yeah, she loves it. It's excellent.
Le 2 et le 3 ne sont pas terribles.
They're not so good.
Not so good. 2 et 3. Pas terrible. So who's the winner?
Number 1.
Number 1. Woo, woo, woo. All right. I would say number 2 is actually in second place. And number 3, oh la la. There must be something really bad for hot chocolate to be bad. All right. Excellent. Let's look at our communication activité. Maybe. If you just turn your packet over, you've got an activité de communication, n'est-ce pas? Okay, so person A, one of you will be A, one of you will be B, and since you're all in weird spots, you guys can decide who's who. You each have items with prices and you have items without prices. Your partner will ask you how much the items with prices are, and you will tell them. And then you will ask them the ones you're missing. So, for example, I'm looking at A right now, and I see that I have a water, right? I have a bottle of water. So I will ask my partner, c'est combien l'eau minérale? Person B will find l'eau minérale, and they will tell them, oh, c'est €1.50, and I will write down that price really quick, and then it will be their turn. If you are at home, you should try to just practice this out loud, asking prices and answering them. All right. I'm only going to give them a few minutes. If you are at home, go ahead and practice asking c'est combien and your different items and giving some prices. Allez.
What size do you want to do?
I'm on. 20. Take 30.
I did not know what you were talking about.
Oh, orange juice. Yes, orange juice.
Yeah, but whatever's like asking you the price.
What are you saying? Ice cream.
Water.
I think it's supposed to be. I don't know. Set euros.
Set euro. Set euros.
Keep going.
Like CESD, like the first part, and then three.
Oh.
I just started. Oh, I was reading the wrong
So,
thing.
you don't have this one. You're going to ask.
So it's not three.
No, it's not. I read the wrong
Oh my
thing.
god. I'm using a highlighter.
It's a dollar fifty.
One
You're
comma.
missing.
I don't want to hear it.
Hot chocolate. So, ask them, how much is a hot chocolate?
Okay. My turn.
Yeah.
C'est combien?
C'est combien, like what?
Très bien.
It's that easy.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait, I looked at it first. I remember that. That's exciting. That's hard.
Okay.
Your turn.
Okay. Orange juice?
C'est combien?
Yeah, it like actually. Like this one is like citron pressé.
Orange juice.
$2.
No, because you can say orange in front of it. Say for a box of orange juice, yeah. For I paid $2 for.
I would get it at the dollar store.
I mean, if we're in like Sunny D,
It's
it's like very sugary orange juice. C'est combien, like croque monsieur.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry, you knew that. You didn't know me. I was trying to figure out what type of sandwich. Oh, jumbo? Sure.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it's your turn. No, I think it's a sandwich.
Is this multiple items?
If it has 2 items, yeah.
Oh.
If you just want to name
I didn't
one
hear
of
the
them,
first
I'll
part.
get what you need.
Wait, hold on.
€1,
Okay, so.
Yeah, it's the sense part. I don't want to say. Sing along? Yes.
You just said it, man. You said it.
Sing along.
What?
Oh,
Oh.
that's Swanson.
If you
Swanson. Okay, I had
Wasn't you said.
no, Swanson beat. I know how to spell it, don't know how to pronounce it.
We're done at You're so weird.
It's $1.70 bill.
Yeah. You have all yours. That's interesting.
Say combination.
What did I do that for? I think what I say. I think it's. Oh, she sits next to me. That looks like I'll go. Okay. I should remember. I don't know. I think I got like. Was running down the same something. Oh my god, I want tea.
Colombian.
Should we get tea? Oh my god. Daddy, oh my god. Okay, so like, I thought I was an atheist, and then I'm like, God. They have a sip and see that's okay, we get a free drink every single day.
Let's think about that.
I did have to think about that, shut up. I never said I was
Except
bright.
now,
I think it's a given.
Well, then I started speaking French more. I already got my mind.
If you take like 26 hours every month, you get a free course for like that.
I can write a, can't pronounce.
Circle K. Yeah, you pay 6 hours once and then you get free course. Yeah, I walked there.
I mean, in French, I just can't.
Or sorry, wait.
I'm better at like
I don't know.
reading or writing.
That's right. Yeah.
Gee, I wonder why. It's not like I grew up in America where our primary language is English.
150. Okay, so I'm getting $31.
Okay. Class, let's come back together, please. On your computers, I've released 2 things. I want to go over both of them for our friends at home, and then I'm going to let us work on them and let them go, okay? So the first thing I want you to open up, if you go into classwork and go down to Chapter 5, Assignments, is the first one that I released. It's called Lisons, which means let's read. It is a reading assignment. Let's take a look at it together. So this is a little reading assignment that I'm going to have you guys in class do with your partners, read out loud and answer questions. And we know that we need to be able to do this on a chapter test too. So this is great practice for us. Looks like we have 2 different menus. We have Le Fun Lunch and King Sandwich. And so you'll read these and try to figure out the gist of them. As always, with reading assignments, there will be things in there that you do not understand. There will be vocabulary in there that you do understand. There will be cognates that look like English. You'll make educated guesses. And then you'll also use surrounding words to try to figure things out. In Exercice A, you're touring France. You're the only one who understands French. And you're going to help your family decide where to go for lunch by indicating which of the 2 restaurants fits the following descriptions. And so you read those and you decide which one fits. Then you reread the ads carefully to answer the following questions in English. Okay, so you guys will do this in just a moment with your partners, and you at home will do them by yourselves and turn them in. When you and your partners are done, turn it in. Actually, we'll probably go over it together too, but you do want to turn it in. So that's the first assignment. Okay, click out of there. Oops, that was the homework. Leave that. And we're going to go to the second assignment, which is just some writing. We're going to try to get some of our new vocabulary down with some reading and some writing. So these are our TPG pages 39 and 40. Let's take a look at these. I'm going to open it with Cami so I can write on it. Let me zoom in here. All right. So you're at a restaurant. Oh, excuse me. You are a restaurant critic, and you're writing a review about a new cafe. You really liked the ham sandwich, but you disliked the French fries. Would you make the following remarks about A, the ham sandwich, or B, the French fries? All right. So, c'est délicieux. Which one would we be describing if I said c'est délicieux? The ham sandwich. So that's going to be A. C'est pas bon. Yep, the fries, les frites. B. C'est excellent. The sandwich. C'est pas terrible. The fries. Easy, easy. As you write your restaurant review, list 2 additional ways to describe the ham sandwich and 2 additional ways to describe the fries. So 2 more ways to say that you like something and 2 more ways to say that you dislike. They review numbers with you. Répétez classe. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. And we do want to make sure we go back and review our numbers, and I did put those slides in chapter 5 for you. Solve the math problems. And they remind you that moins means minus, font means equals, and don't forget that plus here means plus. All right. So you're just going to do some adding and subtracting. Then, hey, another little menu with prices. We want to get good at looking at these. First, you're going to add up your customers' checks, and then you're going to write out the totals. So let's do one together. We have croque-monsieur. Look up, how much is a croque-monsieur? C'est combien? C'est 3,50 €. C'est combien une limonade? C'est 2 €. All right. So what is my total? Ça fait combien? Good. 5,50 €. And now we have to write that out. Oh, what is that you doing there? 5,50 €. I guess I could make it a complete sentence. Say 5,50 €. So that is how we do this exercise. And that is it. Okay, I'm gonna, you know what, since you're on this one, why don't you guys go ahead and work on the TPG pages right now. We'll go over it, then we'll go over the reading. You guys at home, thank you for watching. Remember that you want to turn both of these assignments in. And tomorrow, you want to study tonight, we're going to be doing the finishing the skits, presenting them, and we're going to be doing the listening for the chapter test tomorrow. So you want to study up and be ready for that. And we have the rest of the chapter test on Monday. All right, au revoir. Merci.